Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, the one and only, often imitated, never duplicated, backyard superstar Tim Vicious. I am gonna be serious here for a second. It's probably the most serious you guys are ever gonna see me on here for a minute. Obviously, everyone knows. Last week, Ultimate Warrior died, so yeah, just want to do a quick little send-off for him, so just please humor me for a moment. Thank you. Now on to pressing matters, talking about last night's Raw, but before I even get into that, as far as with also on the Ultimate Warrior goes, one thing definitely want to stress on there is that no good cheeseburger tit, moo-moo cow, piss poor excuse of a reporter, Nancy fucking Grace. She better pray to what... Nancy, I pray to God that you wind up watching this, and you damn well better pray to whatever God you believe in. Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Gandhi, the flying spaghetti fucking monster. I don't give a shit what one you do. But you better pray you don't come across me or anyone else that takes this sport as serious as I do, or Iron Sheik, or anyone. Because I guarantee, you are going to wind up getting hurt. Not in the physical sense, but you are going to wind up getting emotionally hurt, broken, mentally, and physically. Or not even physically, like I said, you are going to get emotionally and mentally hurt to the point to where you are going to be nothing more but a piss poor excuse of what you already are. You ever insult this business that I spent 15 years putting my blood, sweat, and tears into like that, saying all those kind of guys were on juice, you know, all that kind of shit. And do yourselves a favor, people, after you're done watching this, look somewhere on Twitter, I don't know where, or even yet at change.org or .com, something like that. There's a petition to get her off TV. Please, please sign it. Cannot stress that enough. Need to get this fucking bitch off TV for good. Anyways, on with Raw. Last night they did just like I did with the 10-bell salute. They also played a very beautiful tribute video to Warrior. It was, I'm not even gonna lie, I got teary-eyed from it, you know. But you know, it's something tells me he wouldn't want us to sit there and feel sorry that he's gone. You know, he would want us to carry on with the show, so to say. So on with the show. First matchup for the night, it was first round for the IC title. It was a first round tournament to determine the #1 contender for the IC title. It was Van Dam versus Del Rio, and I gotta tell you, I was honest to God, I was bored through the whole match. You know, which is saying something considering it's RVD, you know? I mean, if anything, all I saw was Van Dam do his normal spots. He did his normal high spots, and there's nothing unique on it now. I mean, I understand Rob's in his 40s. You know, Del Rio's getting up there in age also, but you know, I mean, throw something to make the match a little interesting, you know? I mean, it's the was not impressed one bit, you know. And I even looked, and the way they had one camera set up when Van Dam wound up reversing Del Rio's arm breaker, where he used his legs for a roll up like that. You know, they even showed it was just his legs holding him down. Really? I mean, there's no body weight being put down, so all Del Rio would have to do is not even kick out, but just roll to the side. Roll to the side. That would be it. Anyways, Van Dam won, courtesy of the 5-star splash, and then I am just also kind of curious on how it is RVD wound up getting a job back in WWE considering the wellness policy. Because, yeah. If anyone ever remembers ECW, I'm pretty sure y'all all remember what RVD 420 means. But, moving on. Tag match, it was Cody Dust versus Rybaxel, and again, it was boring. It didn't really, you know? I mean, Cody and Goldust were on par for everything that they were doing, and, you know, I give them credit for that. They were doing good. Ryback, looked like a giant fucking yellow street sign wearing that singlet, and Axel, was not impressed one bit. But the big thing that surprised me on this match was that Axel and Ryback actually won, which probably accounts for why there's snow coming down right now outside in the middle of fucking April. So that's what it is. Hell froze over. Rybaxel won over a legit good tag team. Next up, it was an ST Divas match. Paige versus Alicia Fox. And in all honesty, I really wasn't really paying that much attention because it was in my opinion, two of the hotter girls on the roster, and all I thought was, they're in the ring fighting at the same time. Okay. And just kind of dazed off and started ogling, so. Anyways, Paige won, Scorpion Crossbreaker, I think the move is called, or Scorpion Crosslock, however it is it's called, but she won submission. Next matchup, Usos versus Randy and Batista. Now, big thing that pissed me off about with Randy last night more than anything, and not just Randy, Johnny Boy's on there as well, you know, everyone else, instead of wearing their merch, they were all wearing a Warrior shirt. And yet the only two guys that weren't wearing it and were actually wearing their own, Randy fucking Orton and John fucking Cena. Really? I mean, you guys couldn't bother to pay that kind of respect? You know? I mean, for hell, for crying out loud, the Usos did the half face paint thing just like him, and everyone else came out wearing a Warrior shirt that night. And yet you guys couldn't fucking bother to take the time to just say, no, you know what, I don't want to wear that shirt. Let me get this one. I don't care if it's too big for me or not. Whatever. I'm gonna wear it. You know, you couldn't fucking do that. I mean, hell, John, you wore a shirt for Eddie's. You wore a shirt on Eddie's tribute show. Hell, you even put it down right in the middle of the ring underneath your title. Or not even underneath. You put it on in the middle of the ring and then put your title on there. So, and yet you couldn't fucking do that. Anyways, the tag match was pretty much bullshit. DQ, it was a count-out win. It was Randy and Batista that... it was... or... fuck, I don't even remember if it was Randy or the Usos. See on how much I paid attention? You know, anyways, next matchup, it was another IC tournament match. Cesaro versus Mizark Henry. And back to the point about wearing the Warrior shirts. Mark Henry came out, and the guy probably wears a frickin' 4 or 5 XL, and yet he had one. But either way, they came out. It was a good. This was a good match. You know, the crowd itself was god awful because they were being handed chicken salad and they turned it into chicken shit. Because Henry is a worker through and through. You know, he has. You know, he can make guys look really good, and not only that, he can also make himself look like the proverbial immovable force or unstoppable object, whichever. But, you know, he did really good with Cesaro. You know, he wound up making Cesaro go and throw out the uppercuts like crazy. And then, the thing that kind of got me mad was 2 things. One, Cesaro still don't have any music. Whatever happened to, like, that music he came out with when he was the US champ, you know? When he would come out next year, just walk right up to the ramp on down to the ring and then do that. You know? I don't know if it was like a Swish rap or what, but you know, I mean, just, yep, what the fuck? Also, another thing, since he's aligned himself with Paul Heyman, which, by the way, he's the only man that could have turned Paul Heyman face after having Brock beat Taker at Mania. He's been getting called the King of Swing, and yet he has not done the swing once. Anyone else see the problem here? I got impressed at the fact he picked up Henry and wham, hit him with the neutralizer. Got him with the neutralizer. It was very well done, and that was just pure God-given muscle and strength right there, which case I'd be afraid to fight that guy. I'd be afraid to fight Cesaro. I'd be afraid to fight him more so than Henry. And Henry looks like he could chew me like a piece of fucking bubble gum. Next up, squash match. Rusev versus Woods. Rusev took care of him pretty quick. All I thought was, wow, look at them legs on Lana. And I know she was talking about monuments and buildings being erected and all, but seriously, Lana, the more you're going to be out there, the more there's not going to be buildings getting erected, you know? So you may just want to keep that in mind. But next matchup, it was another one for the IC tournament. Swagger versus Sheamus. And like I said before, I got no problem with Sheamus. Good wrestler, just really don't like the fucking gimmick because playing to the fucking stereotype of Irish, come on. You know, contrary to popular belief, we all don't down pints of Guinness left and right and eat potatoes like crazy. You know? But Swagger, he's starting to grow on me some more now, you know? Just wish he had more charisma, you know? Able to make himself a little more, make him just have more charisma, be more open on the mic and such. I mean, I understand he needs Zeb to cover up for the mic work, but yeah, that's my thing. Anyways, Sheamus wound up winning, so next matchup, it was Santino and Emma versus Fandingle Dangle and and Layla, in which case I'm definitely appreciating the fact that he's got Layla with him now, more so than Summer Rae, because damn them legs. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say on that matter. Yeah, the match itself was piss poor. It was shit, but just getting to see Layla work, getting to see Layla work around like that was enough for me. You know, and Fan Wang Dang Doodle and Layla won. Next matchup, it was the last one for the IC match, IC tournament. Ziggler versus Barrett, which case it's kind of funny because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, they need to push Ziggler, they need to push Ziggler, they need to push Ziggler." They're not gonna. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. See, here's this thing. Ziggler, he's concussion prone. He's a medical liability. So they're not gonna give him big pushes. If they're gonna give him matches again, they're just gonna have him either do squash matches and job to somebody, or they're gonna have him win ones that aren't gonna make or break him. Keep that in mind. Either way, it was good seeing Barrett out there again. Really disappointed in the crowd for giving as little of a reaction as they did, you know. And anyways, Barrett wound up getting a win. You know, bull hammer on him. Got the bull hammer on Ziggler. It was really, really good, really well done. And next up, it was the Shield versus... Oh, wait a sec. I wrote it down on a notepad on my phone so that way I wouldn't forget. Because there was a 3-on-11 handicap match. I'm going to complain about that in 1 minute. The Shield's opponents were Del Rio, Swagger, Fan Wang Tang Tingo, 3MB, Titus, Rybaxel, Rusev, and Barrett. Now, first off, complaining, why have Swagger and Del Rio tag team together? Because Swagger's character is supposed to be the real American and not like illegals. And, you know, rewind the clock back to this time last year, you know, Swagger was feuding with Del Rio. Why are we going to have them feud? Why are we going to have them tag up? Also, anyone remember when the quote-unquote authority, see, Vicious Rants first, I actually acknowledged them as the authority. Remember when they first came on the scene and they wound up scolding Vicky for making the Shield do a gauntlet match against all those guys that helped Bryan out during the summer, like right at the end of summer, leading into Night of Champions? Yeah, I'm just wondering, why is it you're going to scold her for that and yet go and do pretty much the same concept the following, later on down the road? I don't know. I don't know why, but it's kind of stupid and it's kind of pointless on that part. And you know, how the hell is somebody supposed to work the ropes when you're doing an 11-person tag match? Either way, as you would expect with that many guys, shit hit the fan and hell broke loose. Everyone started beating on them. Everyone started beating on the Shield. And next thing you know, Lemmy starts coming on the speakers and out comes Evolution. And Hunter, Randy, Dave, you guys forgot your shovels. They pretty much are now looking like they're trying to bury the Shield now. And if not the Shield, then at least the guys that wound up helping them. The only way that they're going to be able to benefit from building up the guys that were in that 11 tag match, the 11 people, is the following weeks. And so they start systematically showing the Shield take out those guys one by one, you know? And they can do that. If they do it right, they do that. They can build it up. 6-man tag match, Extreme Rules. No disqualification or an Extreme Rules match. Whichever. Have it go like that. And just have them 3 versus the Shield, you know. And it can work. Because that's pretty much on how I see on how this feud's going to go now. Because they're probably going to do that just to buy time. So that way they can then stretch out Bryan feuding with the bosses. Anyways, that's all the time for this week's episode. So, like on normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Look for my backup account, Tim_Vicious. Go on Podomatic and look for Offshoot Radio. You know, look for Offshoot Radio as well. I co-host that show with my homeboy. And also, don't forget to check out all these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. My brother from another mother and the co-host of Offshoot Radio. JX2001, that Roxy girl, Vicky Earls, Roxy and Vicky both have their own YouTube pages. Make sure y'all check them out. I am Danny Sunday, Mucky Morris, Helen Robinson 82, Axel Mulligan. Make sure y'all check out Axel's blogs on Raw, SmackDown, NXT pay-per-views. Also his SmackDown blogs on WrestlingRambles.com. And check out his backup account as well, Darren's Rambles. The Sunday Segway. Excuse me, Sinfully Sabrina. Cranky Asshole actually changed his name now to Cranky Grandpa with a P-A. Yeah, so make sure y'all look for him as well. Legion Lady Aaron, Oliver Ben, and Just a Stupid Mark. Also make sure y'all check excuse me. Make sure you also check out Ollie Ben's and Mass Mark's TNA Turnaround, alright? And like I tell you all the time, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.